What creates urgency is time. In basketball, they put a 24-second shot clock so that you are forced to make an effort to shoot, so that you don't drag the game out and there's a flow. And in life, when it comes to buying or selling, and I would say specifically with property, you need to wait, okay, until there's a level of reason in the numbers, if you have that option. And you need to plan, because the big decision for many people, their house, to buy one or to sell one, it's the biggest investment of their life. So you need to not just be hasty, but you also need to remember every year that you wait for a crash to buy, you just lost a year of your life. On average, a human lives 80 years. For the first 20, you're not buying property, you're a child basically. And from 60 to 80, you're buying a property that you're pretty much going to just, that's going to be your end goal, your place where you die. So pretty much from, let's just say 30 to 60, you want to figure out, where do you want to spend most of your time? And in the middle of your life, if you make a decision to sell because you want to relocate, maybe you've built up your career, you can get a job transfer, or maybe now you can work remote, then try to make sure that you live below your means. But after that, don't just wait for the crash and this perfect place, because it doesn't exist. The chances of there being an economic crash and you finding the perfect property for the perfect price, it's almost impossible. It's impossible, because there's no perfect property even in perfect times. I mean, I've looked at hundreds of properties, and someone else's version of perfect is not going to be yours, because I have found properties that you walk in it and you know right away it's a winner. It's going to appreciate in equity, it's quality, but it doesn't fit your individual lifestyle. And that's another thing you'll learn, is that we're all different. And so what created urgency for me was time. I said, man, every year that goes by and I'm scared to make another commitment to property, and you may make a mistake. I made a mistake. I had to correct it. It sucked. But in life, the only way you learn to do something, or even if you learn to do it, the only way to live life is to overcome when you make a mistake. And if you do nothing, you're going to get nothing. So at some point, you just got to bite the bullet. And if you make a mistake, it sucks, but that's okay. Push forward and correct it. But I'm saying that you got to look at your life. How many more years are going to pass? Your beard gets whiter. Your hair, you go balder. And even if you're a girl, maybe you got a wig. And it's not about making this a morbid statement or rushing. Don't rush. But it is a fact, after a certain period of evaluating, you got to figure out, here's another day you weren't relaxed in your backyard. Here's another day you weren't swimming in the community pool. Here's another day, you went and you couldn't find a campground if you were a nomad. Here's another day that we're renting somewhere and we don't know if the owner will sell, or if next year he's going to renew our lease at a higher price. The urgency that time creates is like no other, and it's wise. And that's why even there's a scripture that says that it's better to think about your last day on earth than your first. Why? Because of urgency, learning how to live alert. People who just worry about celebrating their birthday, but don't understand to live life to the fullest, so that in one sense, every day is their birthday. It's not good. So I want to make this video from my experience, that spend time on this decision. Don't rush. Do the numbers. Calculate the cost. But then make a decision, because time keeps ticking. You didn't spend today in your community pool. You didn't spend today in a peaceful night's sleep at your home. Now, like me also, you may make a mistake. And keep some of it private, self-care. But correct it, self-care. And persevere. And nothing's perfect. Honesty. And you got to be honest with yourself. Are you living your best life? Don't worry about if I'm living my best life. It's about you. If you can say you are, then you're good. You don't even need to say anything. But for me, I had to ask myself that. So, wow, I can make it a little better here for me. Some people may still not like it. It's about you now. You're an adult. And so I hope this helped you in some way. Okay. See you next time.